Hey guys, Dharma and Joel back here with more episodes of Dark. We're on episode 5 of season 3. Right, a little bit of a recap. We now know, or at least we think we know, that the information Adam has just passed on to, not Marta, as you call her.
Yeah, not Marta.
Is that her and Jonas, the kid, the origin, he has finally come clean and showed us what he believes is the origin. And it's not a time or a place, this person. And we think it may be Trip. Because we don't know the guy's real name, so we've called him Trip, which everyone apparently seems to really quite like that. So we picked a good name. He has also just finished completing the book. I'm just trying to work out now who is actually really in charge here. Is it Trip? Is it Adam? I don't know. I'm not entirely certain. And when we go back to Egon, he got her pregnant. He handled it all wrong, as he always does.
He handled it like a man in the 50s would.
Yeah, he did. But he also handled what was going to happen with it not very well. She said she wants to have nothing to do with it with him. Then he goes home, and then his wife gives him the bad news, which we knew was already coming because that marriage was already dead anyway. She actually stepped out before he did.
Yeah.
So, what else?
That was the major points that I remember. The two young variations of Jonas and not Martha are still both being manipulated by their older selves. That seems to be the flavour of this, which is why I still think that the twist should be that Trip is the one calling the shots and he's manipulating the older versions of themselves to make sure that he comes into existence by having them manipulate the younger versions of his parents, how they conceive him in the first place.
It does seem to be a standard in this show that the older versions of all these integral people are the ones that are determining and saying what needs to happen and pushing them in a certain way because they know more information than the rest of us, but it's to their own end. Each one of them, so they've all got a different viewpoint as to what should happen, how it should happen, and they are steering their younger counterparts and just lying their ass off.
Yeah, basically to ensure what happens. Yeah. I think it would be interesting to see if the same lifestyle could have been achieved with zero interference on your part.
Yeah.
They all say that the point of this show is that there is no fate. You know, it's already predetermined. Yes. It doesn't matter what you do, it's still going to lead to the same point. Yeah. So if that's the case, why do y'all keep poking and prodding and pulling at threads? You should have faith in your own belief system that it will work out just as it's supposed to. Because
that's human nature. It's the same as being trapped in an empty room and told you're going to die in that room. There is absolutely no possible way of escape. Do you just sit there and wait, or do you try anyway, even though you know it's futile? The human brain can't just sit and let something happen. They feel as though if they do something or interact with their environment in some way, they can affect it, they can affect change. And that's probably one of our biggest downfalls, but it can at times be one of our biggest strengths.
Yeah, the fact that we don't give up and we have hope is a good thing.
Anyway, I want to get on with it. I want to see what happens next. So we will carry on. This is episode 5.
Well, it was obviously a grave.
Why is it always in the rain?
Was ist der Tod? Und könnten wir ihm entkommen, wenn wir wüssten, wann er uns erwartet? Unser Sterben Teil eines unendlichen Uhrwerks?
Sein Weg wird dich immer hierher führen. Zu Elisabeth. Zu mir. Hast du dich entschieden? Nur noch einen Tag. Und wir können diesen Knoten endgültig lösen.
Wirst du es zu Ende bringen?
Eva wird ihr Ziel niemals erreichen. Ihre Welt hat es ebenso wenig verdient, gerettet zu werden, wie unsere.
Wir müssen los. Zum AKW. Wir haben nicht viel Zeit.
Who the hell is that?
Wo bist du denn? Wir haben dich gestern die ganze Zeit gesucht. Kilian meinte, du warst bei ihm. Und danach bist du wie vom Erdboden verschwunden. los. Ich muss jetzt los.
Is this gonna work?
Meine Mutter hat um 5 Uhr Schichtwechsel. Sie hat eine Schlüsselkarte. Sie geht immer den gleichen Weg. Wir bringen Mickel zurück. Versprochen. Sind das meine Eltern? Du hast gesagt, es gibt keine Fotos.
Das bist nicht du.
As I said, that's not her parents.
Das sind nicht deine Eltern.
Nope.
Das ist mein Sohn und seine Frau. Und meine Enkelin. Sie sind bei einem Autounfall ums Leben gekommen. In der Nacht, als es passiert ist, bin ich aufgewacht. Da waren 2 Frauen. Die sahen eigenartig aus. Die hatten ein Bündel in der Hand. Das Bündel warst du. Sie haben gesagt, dass mir in dieser Nacht alles genommen werden würde.
Damn.
Und gleichzeitig alles geschenkt. Das ist das Einzige, was du bei dir hattest.
Yeah, that's from the 1800s.
It is.
It's you.
Hallo, Claudia.
Yeah.
I think he knows he has been doing it for her benefit.
Yeah, maybe.
Du hast gedacht, du kannst ihm trauen. Aber das kannst du nicht. Wem? Jonas. Er will beide Welten für immer auslöschen und damit den Knoten zerstören. Er weiß noch nicht, dass es das sein wird, was er am Ende will. Aber alle Impulse auf seinem Weg werden ihn dorthin leiten. Jonas hat gesagt, wir können es ändern. Wir ändern eine Komponente und damit die ganze Welt. Das hast du ihm gesagt. Jonas hat die Passage in 2020 geöffnet. Der ältere Jonas hat sie zuvor in 2019 geschlossen. In jedem Kreislauf wird an all diesen 3 Momenten das Cäsium erneut in den Tunnel gebracht, bevor es komplett zerfallen ist.
Oh.
Es potenziert sich bis ins Unendliche. So ist die Passage entstanden.
Yeah.
Und so muss sie auf ewig fortbestehen. Dass Jonas die Materie in die Passage bringt. Dass das Öffnen eines der Fässer im AKW die Apokalypse auslöst. Alles in dieser Schleife wiederholt sich. Leben und Tod. Oh Mist.
There's that scar.
Yeah.
Vielleicht will sie nicht, dass wir es verhindern. Vielleicht sind wir es, die es überhaupt auslöst.
Wow.
Die ganze Zeit habe ich das gemacht, was die anderen gesagt haben.
You have. And this is where you've ended up.
Und damit alles nur schlimmer gemacht.
Stop listening to all
Zurück
this.
zu Eva. Ich will endlich wissen, was die Wahrheit ist.
Ah,
Entschuldigung,
there he is
wenn ich
young.
von hier laufe, wie lange brauche ich dann bis Winden?
An deiner Stelle würde ich mir das nochmal überlegen.
Turn around.
Bin jetzt wie
Leave.
ein schwarzes Loch.
Haha, you've no
Wenn du
idea.
kommst du nie wieder raus.
That's correct.
Noah? Connor?
Hey, warte. Hab keine Angst.
Dude!
Another idea? Yep, there it goes. He's trying to justify it to himself.
Yeah. Sure, young girl.
She's a pretty young girl as well. Come on, cavalry.
Bang! usual, things escalate.
I said this was going to be the thing that made her.
This is what we're all capable of.
Yeah, until it sustained love, I'd be the same. Really nicely shot.
Jesus.
Wir müssen den Knoten aufrechterhalten. Du musst in deiner Welt alles dafür tun. Und ich in meiner. Jonas, du wirst ihn leiten müssen. Und dich später gegen ihn stellen. Wir werden uns wiedersehen. In deiner Welt. Bald. Halt, warte!
Das hier ist falsch.
Actually,
Ich
it's
bin
not.
falsch hier.
Die Schlüsselkarte. Das ist ja verrückt. Ich will dir nicht wehtun. Die Schlüsselkarte. Mama, lass das!
What?
Was ich da gesagt?
You should have just cut the strap.
Yeah. Something's gonna go wrong here. Ah. What?
Ich bin nicht deine Mutter. Du kommst aus der Hölle.
That's how the necklace gets there.
Ich hab
Of
dich weggemacht.
course.
Ich hab dich weggemacht.
That's why they find it years later.
I said, didn't I, when they first found it, how did that get there? Hello. She might not be dead, but you're not taking any risks, are you?
Mama, ist alles in Ordnung? Du blutest ja. Was ist das? Ist das von Ulrich? Du kleine miese Schleppe.
Yeah.
And we now know why.
Du bist den Namen, den du trägst, nicht wert.
You were never meant to leave.
She died trying.
She actually did. She's looking for you for protection now. This is how it happens.
Was ist das hier? Adam und Eva.
Und so beginnt alles neu.
Du hast gesagt, wir können beide Welten retten, aber wir können nur eine Welt retten. Oder das ist auch eine Lüge. Ich will zurück. Jetzt. In meine Welt.
Ein Mensch lebt 3 Leben. Das erste endet mit dem Verlust der Naivität.
This is what Adam said.
Das zweite mit dem Verlust der Unschuld. Und das dritte mit dem Verlust des Lebens selbst. Deines endet hier und jetzt.
Was?
Du hast erledigt, wozu
Ja.
du in diese Welt geschickt wurdest.
Correct.
Wir haben
We
nicht
got your best
erledigt.
swimmers.
Sie hat gesagt, dass wir die Apokalypse stoppen müssen.
You're
Die Schwester
pregnant.
einmal kann
Ja.
alles verstehen.
There's.
Yeah.
Wer bist du?
I'm you.
Es tut mir leid.
Yeah, they don't need that Jonas anymore.
Alles wieder gut.
Okay, so that was episode 5. Quite a important episode, I think. We got quite a few questions answered. And for me, still, the best scene out of that entire episode was with Elizabeth when that guy broke into the caravan. That was tastefully done.
Yeah, and what I liked about it as well, from the protagonist point of view, the guy, is you can see him wrestling with his consciousness, his conscience to do what he's about to do, because you can see him go, oh, well, that's the first warm meal I've had in ages.
And now I could do with something else. You could see his brain going, should I, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you can see that sort of turmoil going on, and then him going, well, there's only her here and she's smaller than me, so yeah.
And it's the end of the world and no one's going to come along to stop me. Except he didn't know he was about to walk through the door. I was wondering how he was going to die, but the minute we got to that scene...
You knew it was that was going to do it.
You knew it was coming. And like I said, I think that's also... I wondered, because she's got beautiful hair, I wonder why she cut her hair off as we see her as older hair. I think that would have been right from that very incident to make herself less attractive to the opposite sex.
I don't think it's so much that. I think
it could be.
No, yeah, mainly for a woman, it's so you can't be grabbed.
Yeah, and pulled.
It's that long hair is, I can grab hold of you as you're walking away. Short hair, you're going to struggle to do that. I still don't, that's very character forming for her there. You can see her go off and nowhere is her only port of call now with where she has to be. Yeah. But you can see that sort of solidify into who she is. So here's the two differences. That's just what I want to make. You can see what happened to Katarina's mother when she was younger.
Yes.
And her as a parent has made her abusive towards her daughter. Not being able to explain, look, you need to stay away from boys because boys can hurt you the way they hurt me.
And then this happening on top.
And then you've got Elizabeth going the other way, and what's happened or didn't happen but almost happened to her has given her this strength to be able to lead the post-apocalyptic people into, the future of what they have now. I know she's still being manipulated by Adam and everything, but I'm just saying these are the two polar opposites, two similar incidents, and this is two different ways to react.
Because they had slightly different outcomes, it's made that person be completely the reverse of the other one. Yeah. One becomes a strong leader, the other one just becomes an abusive...
Still a
victim who is violent and knows no other way of expressing it. But that was a really good episode. So now they've just done exactly what Adam did. What was it? End of season 2?
Mm-hmm.
With Martha. And they no longer have a use for Jonas because, as you said, well, we've got what we want from you now. So this is where your line ends for the cycle to repeat. They are basically saying they've got to keep this not going, because the minute they don't and then they allow something to be changed, Adam's won.
Yeah, it's literally on a knife edge at the moment with everything. Now, you can understand with Adam, I have more sympathy for the character now because he has been manipulated. The reason it took him 66 years to see what Eva was doing is that's how long, he's got memories of what's happened and gone, it's you are my weakness, you are the reason I can't break this cycle.
Yeah.
And you're not the reason I can't break it, you're the one that's trapped me in it. Yeah, Ava has trapped him in it this whole time, making it repeat and repeat. So I kind of have a newfound, not sympathy, but understanding for where Adam's coming from now, because I'd want to cut the knot as well. I'd be like, let's just walk away.
I really enjoyed the scenes with her when she was handing off the book to her, and she'd give all the full explanation as to how the tunnel come about, the scientific explanation as to how this tunnel was formed. With the nuclear power plant and the... What was the element she said?
Cesium.
Cesium. Because obviously the nuclear fuel is uranium-237. That's a byproduct, I'm presuming. But I like that we got an actual scientific explanation. I don't know whether it would be accurate or not. Probably not. But at least it gave us that. I enjoyed that. So, where do we go from here now?
Well, we've still got. I mean, that was an entire episode without Trip in it, which was weird.
Yes, it was. He wasn't in this
it
at all.
It was just in a flashback as to what happened before. So we've got to figure out now. I still want to know how she gets that big scar. Because the one that shot Jonas, she's got it, so she's going to do something to piss her older selves off that's going to get that to happen.
They tied the necklace in with Katerina and they showed us exactly how it ended up there. The reason I mentioned it, an episode, you know, when he first arrives here and he finds it in the sand, I knew they only showed us that for a reason. They don't do anything by accident in this show. If they're showing you something just as what appears to be something and nothing at the time, you know you're going to get a full scene based around how, when, why, where, and who that came about, and they gave it us in this episode. That was brilliant. Love that.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a really nice little touch. It was a dark episode, but it was a poignant episode, and a lot was conveyed without being graphic, and I like that in a storyline. I like the implication. You know where it's going. But it doesn't.
This season, they're getting longer and longer with these awkward pauses. I counted one scene in there that was about 14 seconds without a single word being said and two people just staring at each other. It's getting longer and longer because it gives that fabulous dramatic effect. Also, just going back again, the scene with Elizabeth with the guy in the caravan. When her father came through the door and he started fighting him, I like that they just gave it you as a raw scene. They didn't start putting music over it or doing stupid silly action sequences. It felt like what it would be for any of us if suddenly you just walked in on somewhere and you were faced with an impending attack with somebody who's armed and you just don't know what to do. Your survival instinct just kicks in, and then you see why Elizabeth becomes who she is, because like you said, I would have grabbed that fire extinguisher and I would have gone to town on him. I wouldn't have stopped until it was just a stain on the floor.
Till I hit floor.
Every human being is capable of this, put in the right circumstances. Anyone who says, I'm not violent, I could never do that, don't know. You don't know until you're in the situation. There's loads of TV shows have covered
anyone who says that the humans aren't like that either, I refer you back to the toilet paper shortage at the beginning of the pandemic to show you just how far people would go over something and nothing.
And that's just a piece of toilet paper. With a society still around them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. Don't forget, as always, guys, I keep mentioning it because people put it in the comments and then we have to repeat myself. This will be available on Patreon, full length as always. If you're watching it on Patreon, you already know that. And there's 2 episodes being uploaded by us every week so we can get through this season as quickly as possible. Mainly because we want to know how it ends.
We do.
Doing 1 episode a week wasn't enough. And we had quite a few people requesting could we do more, which is why we decided to do it. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you're probably a few weeks behind. If you want to catch up very quickly, just check out the link in the description and that will give it you over there. So I think that will wrap it up for this one, and we will see you again for episode 6 very soon. Probably back to back. We'll probably be recording this straight after this. Right, so if you enjoyed the video, guys, please leave your comments down below, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget, hit that subscribe, turn notifications on, and we'll see you for episode 6 of Dark next time. Till then, thanks a lot for watching.
Take care.
Bye.